others are going to come into the scene, the flying monkeys, the enablers. They're going to say, your mother suffered so much, now it's your turn. I really don't understand why she had to suffer and why she had to keep me reminded of it. If she suffered out of her own choice and will. Yeah. So why does she have to narrate everything to me? Why does she have to keep reminding me that she suffered because of me? Hey everyone, I hope everyone is doing good and taking good care of themselves. So today I'm going to talk about the manipulative ways narcissistic parents use selective information to control their children. And before I get going, I would request you all to like, share, subscribe the channel, hit the notification bell so you guys are updated whenever we put out new content. So narcissistic parents are all about them. They just don't care what's going inside of their children, what their kids are going through. That's none of their concern, because it's all about them. Narcissistic individuals, narcissistic parents lack empathy. They have inability to self-reflect, extreme sense of entitlement. Rules don't apply to them. It's all about them. They know it all. They are always right. Change, mistake, error is for the inferiors. They are superior. They have reached epitome of perfection, and they just want to be the center of the universe. Yeah, so when you are dealing with such a person, you will never have a healthy childhood, and as a result of which you will never be able to have a healthy adult life. Yeah, because your childhood is messed up. Yeah, and the credit goes to the narcissistic parent. So narcissistic parents have a lot of tricks up their sleeve to manipulate and control their children. Yeah, and they do this so that they get to exploit and abuse their children. Yeah, they are able to extort things out of their children, whether it is emotional needs, whether it is money, validation, appreciation, admiration. They have a lot of requirement. Yeah, and because of that they choose to become parent. Yeah, whatever problem they have one solution: breed, have children. My problems will get over. Money problem, have children. Household problem, I mean, someone to do the household chores, have children. Someone to help you in the business, have children. Someone to do your bidding, have children. Your husband is emotionally absent, have children. Have a son, he'll be your pseudo husband. If people are not admiring you, have children. Your childrens are going to admire you. So whatever problem you have, I mean, for a narcissist, whatever problem they have one stop solution, that is to get married and have children. Yeah, financial problem, emotional problem, social problem, any kind of problem, one stop solution is breed, have children. And trust me, an individual with such a mindset is never able to raise healthy children. The children are dysfunctional, the children are broken, they are traumatized, they are exposed to a lot of bad things since childhood, and as a result of which things are distorted in their head. They really don't know what healthy looks like, they really don't know what healthy feels like. Yeah, because their primary caregiver is distorting things for them. Yeah, and as a result of which these kids grow up to be dysfunctional individuals. They keep attracting toxic individuals, they keep suffering. Yeah, even after their toxic parent, their narcissistic parent, abusive parents are long gone dead, these kids still suffer in their adult life. Yeah, they keep attracting toxic individuals, they keep suffering in silence, they really don't know how to express. Yeah, because all of those right tools were never given to them. Those tools, those life skills were never given to them. They were only given the tools that could serve and enable the narcissistic parent. They were only given the tools that could please the narcissistic parents. They were never given the tools to become independent. They were never given tools to become healthy, regulated. They were never given the tools to develop self-worth, self-esteem, and self-respect. Yeah, instead they were given tools to be a loyal servant. They were given the tools, all that guilt and shame, all that manipulation, yeah, to be a loyal, dedicated, devoted servant at the disposal of their narcissistic parent. So narcissistic parents distort you know everything in their kids' life. Yeah, the kids' perception is distorted. Yeah, it takes a long time to unlearn all of that shit and relearn and reparent yourself. Yeah, I mean, I spent around 16 years, 17 years with my narcissistic parent. And trust me, I'm 36, 37 at the moment. You know, still I'm unlearning a lot of things. Even though I'm a therapist, I have, worked on myself. Before becoming therapist, I was, you know, in contact with a therapist. I was working on myself, then studying and then becoming a therapist and helping others. Still, there are areas where I feel that I need to work on. Yeah. So, it's a kind of a lifetime work that, you embark on when you are raised by narcissistic parents. Yeah. They destroy you. They, forbid you from becoming a healthy individual. And how do they do that? By withholding love and affection, constantly gaslighting. Gaslighting is their love language, manipulating, comparing, getting their flying monkeys to do the talking, instilling guilt and shame. Yeah, I mean, telling you that you're, unworthy of their love, you had been painful, you had been, a disgrace, doing all sorts of things, extremely criticizing you in front of the others, not sparing you for any mistakes, hitting you, swearing at you, withholding love and affection, ignoring you, giving you silent treatment, stonewalling. And, narcissistic parents have a lot of tricks up their sleeve, when it comes to controlling and manipulating their children. And trust me, you know, all of these things have, effects on the child, negative effect. Yeah, it negatively impacts the child's growth. It stunts the child's growth. Yeah, and as a result of which the child keeps suffering in his or her adult life. But do these narcissistic parents care? The answer is no. They just brought you for supply, they just brought you for return, they brought you so that you can be their hospice. They might have, cleaned your shit, for 5 years, but they want you to clean their shit for 30 years. They might have nursed you and, nurtured you, not nurtured, they might have just nursed you and given you bare minimum and, brought you up somehow. Maybe for 5, 6 years, they might have, put in all that effort. They want a good 30, 40 years from you. They want you to dedicate your entire life, to be their therapist, to be their caretaker, to be their hospice, to be their everything. Yeah, so they are going to put in a little bit and they are going to extort, they are going to expect huge return. Children are like, short-term investment with lifetime return. Yeah, so they're going to do the bare minimum. They're going to keep guilt tripping you. They're going to keep reminding you. They're going to keep giving you subtle payback reminders. And they're going to extort this much. Yeah. So, they are going to do the bare minimum. They are going to do a little bit. And they're going to make sure that they make you feel that you're causing them inconvenience. That's also there. It's not that they are going to do it selflessly and make you feel that, this is my duty. I need to do. They are going to make sure that they make you feel that you cause them inconvenience, you cause them pain and suffering. Yeah, it was not easy, you made them suffer. They're going to make sure that they make you feel that, they make you listen to all of their, sob story. Yeah, in a healthy setup, parents don't say all of that. It's their duty and they do the best they can, unconditionally. Yeah, in a healthy setup, parents are not going to tell you, I spent sleepless nights, you were troublesome, and they're not going to make you feel as if, when you were a child you were like an inconvenience to them. They're never going to make you feel, like that. But when you are raised by narcissistic parents, they are going to make sure that they make you feel that you are an inconvenience, for them. And that's how they guilt trip you, that's how they set you up for more abuse, and that's how they extort things out of you. Yeah, that I did this much, now it's your turn, you need to do this much. Yeah, they're going to do the bare minimum and they're going to expect huge return. They are going to make you feel as if, having needs is being selfish, having needs is a bad thing. Yeah, so they silence you from childhood, they train you and groom you to be a giver. Yeah, and not expect anything in return. Now, coming to the different manipulative ways narcissistic parents use selective information to control their children. The first way is creating false narratives. So, narcissistic parents are going to share exaggerated or one sided stories about the family members. Yeah, to turn siblings or relatives against each other. So it's one, sided story. They're going to add in salt and pepper, exaggerate, and project the other person as a villain, and tell you that your auntie was bad, your grandma was bad, your sister is bad, and I'm there, standing up with you. I'm there in your favor. I'm there protecting you. All that BS. And it is basically to control you. It's basically to keep you hooked onto them, to keep you on their side. Yeah, it's basically to groom you to be their rescuer. So narcissistic parents are big time into creating false narratives. Yeah, and this helps them control their children. This helps them control you and me. Yeah, at one point my narcissistic mother used to keep narrating the sad story, how she suffered because of us, and how the entire family was bad and they were misusing her, they were abusing her. And I mean, later on I realized that yes, I mean, the entire family was toxic and abusive, but she was no good. She was equally abusive. Yeah, because she was not treating her children right. She was abusing. She was physically hurting the child. She was swearing at the children. I mean, when we were young, she was doing all sorts of nasty things with us. Yeah, in the name of care, concern, and love. So how come she's different? Yeah, I mean, she used to narrate all those sad story that grandma was bad and auntie was bad and they abused her. And what was she doing with the children? She was doing the same shit. She was abusing the children. So how is she different? So when we started growing, we started realizing that she's no different. Yeah, she was lying. She was a bitch. She was hurting us. Yeah, under the guise of love, care, and concern. And at the same time she was repeating all those sad story, and all of it was basically to fool us. All of it was basically to control us. The other manipulative way narcissistic parents use selective information to control their children is by guilt inducing lies. Yeah, so they selectively reveal only the sacrifices they have made for their child, leaving out their toxic behavior to manipulate guilt. Yeah, so these narcissistic parents are going to reveal certain information. They are not going to tell you the entire story. They are going to tell you the portions, the part where they were the martyr, they were the victim, they were your rescuer. Yeah, they were the hero. Yeah, and that's it. They are never going to share the side where they had been bitchy, where they had been selfish, where they had been evil and villain. Yeah, they're never going to tell you that. Yeah, they're going to tell you just one-sided thing, where they suffered because of you, where they endured everything just for the sake of you, for your education, for your well-being. They stayed in the toxic relationship. They will not talk about the toxic things they do. They will not talk about the toxic behavior of them. And they're never going to share both sides of the story. They're going to share one side of the story, and this is basically to control the child. This is basically to manipulate the child, and to instill guilt in the child, that I suffered so much because of you. Now it's your turn. Pay back. You have to do things for me. Others are going to come into the scene. The flying monkeys, the enablers, they're going to say, your mother suffered so much. Now it's your turn. I really don't understand why she had to suffer and why she had to keep me reminded of it. If she suffered out of her own choice and will. Yeah, so why does she have to narrate everything to me? Why does, she have to keep reminding me that she suffered because of me? Yeah, it's because she wants things out of me. She wants me to feel guilty. She wants me to feel responsible and do things for her. Yeah, this is my narcissistic parents' way of trapping me. This is my narcissistic parents' way of, keeping me on board, keeping me on hook. Yeah. The other manipulative way narcissistic parents use selective information to control their children is by withholding key details. So they provide just enough information to make the child dependent on them for answers. Yeah, keeping control over decisions and perceptions. So narcissistic parents are not going to, give you the entire detail. They are just going to share the information that keeps you dependent on them. Yeah, so that you are dependent on them for answers. Yeah, that's it. They don't tell you everything. Yeah, and that's how they control you. That's how they make a fool out of you. That's how they isolate you. That's how they keep you emotionally codependent on them. Yeah, so narcissistic parents want to control your perception, your decision. And how do they do that? They do that by controlling the information. They do that by withholding the key details. They will not share anything and everything. They will only give you the bit that does their work, yeah, of keeping you on hook. Yeah, so that you keep going back to them for answers. You keep asking them, how is grandma, how is dad, how was dad with you, how was my sister with you, how was my uncle with you. Yeah, because they are going to lay out a story. They are going to lay out a plan where they are the ones who's suffering. They have been victimized, brutalized, antagonized by the entire family. And they will give you just the detail, the bit that does their work, yeah, of keeping you dependent on them. That's it. Yeah, so that you keep going back to them, to find out about the family history, to find out about the others. You keep going back to them for answers. Yeah, they are never going to tell you the entire thing. Yeah, and this is basically to control you. This is basically to control your decision, the way how you perceive and view things. The other manipulative way narcissistic parents use selective information to control their children is by twisting the truth. They distort the facts about conflicts, yeah, painting themselves as victim to manipulate the child's loyalty and sympathy. So they are never going to tell you that they were wicked, they were bitchy, the problem was with them, the problem was started by them. They are never going to tell you that. Instead, they are going to distort the facts about the conflict, and they are going to paint themselves as the victim. And this is basically to manipulate the child's loyalty and sympathy. Yeah, so that the child is always on their side, and the child always has sympathy towards them. The child is always loyal to them. Yeah, because they are projecting them as the victim. Yeah, they are withholding all the details. They are not sharing the entire detail regarding the conflict. And they are painting everyone else as the villain and them as the victim. Yeah, so the child is more attached to that narcissistic parent. The child is always there next to the narcissistic parent, because the child genuinely believes, yeah, because it's been long that the child is hearing the same story, manipulated version of things. Yeah, that my mother suffered a lot and this and that. So the child is always having sympathy towards the mother. The child is always on the mother's side, and the child is always loyal to the mother. Yeah, because the child believes the version of story that the mother narrates. Yeah, the child is not going out there to double check. The child is not asking others about their version. The child is just believing what the caregiver is serving them. The other manipulative way narcissistic parents use selective information to control their children is by playing favorites. So they tell one child privileged information while withholding it from the others, fostering competition and control among siblings. So narcissistic parents are going to tell you some information, and they are going to make you feel as if you are privileged, you are special, and that's the reason they are going to tell you, or they are telling you certain information, and they are not telling the others. So this is basically to manipulate you into believing that you are special, and they are revealing this special information to you, and not to the other sibling. And this is basically to create more sibling rivalry. This is basically to stir a kind of competition, yeah, where you feel that you are special, the special information, the privileged information, and your siblings don't know. Yeah, so this is basically to make you mad. This is basically to control you. and this is basically to stir a kind of a competition in the family, and this is basically to make you feel good. Yeah, you start teasing your sister. You have got no idea what piece of information I have, what my mother has revealed to me. You have got no idea. I'm the favorite one, and that's the reason she revealed it to me. You don't know. And the other child is, again, in this competition, what did he do or she do that she deserves that special, information, that she deserves that privileged information. Why, all of that information was not, passed on to me? Why it was not revealed to me? Curiosity. You get into this competition that let me do more so that I'll also become my mother's confidant. I'll also, become that special child whom the parent reveals all these privileged information. Yeah, so it creates a nasty, toxic, atmosphere in the family. And these narcissistic parents are equipped, and they are expert in, stirring nastiness and toxicity in the family, among siblings, amongst family members. And the last manipulative way narcissistic parents use selective information to control their children is with selective disclosure. They reveal secrets about the others while omitting their own wrongdoings, ensuring they appear trustworthy while sowing mistrust in others. So narcissistic parents are going to reveal secrets of the others, yeah, to you, and this is basically to, fool you and to control you. Yeah, and they are going to, eat away and hide their own wrongdoings. Yeah, so they are not going to tell you that I was nasty, I was bitchy, I was selfish, I was toxic. Instead, they are going to reveal others' secret. Yeah, and this is basically to make themselves appear trustworthy, yeah, while sowing mistrust in the others. Yeah, so they will not tell you the entire story. They are going to cherry pick, things. They are going to talk about others' vulnerabilities. So if your sister has, shared something with your mother, if your sister has shared, some of her weakness and vulnerability, and she, requested the mother to keep it to herself, but this narcissistic mother is not going to keep it to herself. She is going to, reach out to the golden child or to the favorite child, and she's going to reveal the other siblings' secrets. Yeah, and this is basically to, make the, golden child feel special. Yeah, and she's not going to, talk about the good things about your sibling, the strength, the good things that she has. She's not going to talk about that. Instead, she's going to mock, she's going to criticize, she's going to share her weakness with you, her vulnerabilities with you. And this is basically to gain your trust. This is basically to gain trust of the golden child, the favorite child. Yeah, and this is basically to, manipulate the child that you are special. I will reveal everything to you and not to the others. Yeah, and the child stays in that bubble. The child, grows up in that delusion that I'm the special one, I know anything and everything. All of the family secrets are with me. My mother tells me anything and everything. My mother tells me, things which other family members also don't know. Yeah, we start living in that delusion that I'm special. She reveals everything to me, and that's it. But in reality, whatever she reveals, it's one-sided, it's manipulated, it's misconstrued, it's withholding information. It's all based on lies and manipulation. Yeah, so don't trust, what your narcissistic parent reveals, to you. Yeah, I mean, by pretending that you are special, by pretending that this is a secret piece of information that I'm revealing to you. This is just for your ear. Please don't buy that, because all of it is lie, all of it is one-sided. Yeah. These folks, these narcissistic parents are nasty and horrible manipulators. They just destroy your, mental health, yeah, since childhood. And that's how, you are like a loyal puppy. Even though they are abusing you, they are extorting, they are exploiting, they are antagonizing you, but still you keep going back to them. Yeah, that's how they establish this trauma bond. Yeah, they hit you, they abuse you, then they give you a tiny bit of crumb. Yeah, they hurt you, they abandon you, they throw silent treatment, then they throw crumb, and we keep crawling back. Yeah, so it's high time. We need to unlearn a lot of things. And how do we do that? We do that with the help of knowledge. We do that with the help of, podcasts like this. We do that with the help of different books that is out there. Yeah, on narcissism, narcissistic personality disorder, and what narcissistic abuse looks like. So yes, awareness is the key. Knowledge is the key in healing and overcoming such painful thing that we are put through. Yeah, knowledge helps us heal. Awareness helps us heal. Having radical acceptance helps us heal. So yes, this was it. These were, some of the manipulative ways narcissistic parents use selective information to control their children. In case if you would like to add in something, you can always comment below. Till then, take care of yourself. Lots of love and blessings to all of you. Bye.